Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 35 days away from its official release, but that's not the only project that Disney and Lucasfilm are currently focused on for the future of the Star Wars franchise. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, just the other day, Disney Plus launched alongside with Star Wars The Mandalorian. It's getting excellent reviews, and I actually put my review up just yesterday. Honestly, I think that The Mandalorian is an excellent TV series, and that Disney and Lucasfilm have a great chance at really launching Star Wars in a good direction by using Disney Plus as a streaming service. But I'll also go over the cons about that as well later on in this video. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that The Rise of Skywalker is a very important piece by Disney and Lucasfilm because it does determine the future of the Star Wars franchise and where things will stand after all of that when it comes to the new trilogy, the standalone films that they currently are planning to work with, as well as new TV series currently in the works. Now, on top of all of this, what's really intriguing about Disney and Lucasfilm is that it's explained that both Disney and Lucasfilm are currently expanding the Star Wars franchise, not just with The Rise of Skywalker and a handful of live-action TV series, but also the new Star Wars trilogy as well as other spin-off films currently in the early works, as well as the new expanded universe set to begin in 2020. It's described that Disney and Lucasfilm are currently focused on their streaming service, where Disney Plus, of course, and how they could use the platform to introduce Star Wars to brand new fans around the world, as well as satisfying many of the hardcore and casual fans alike. It's explained that Disney and Lucasfilm are currently in a phase, as revealed in the earnings call on November 7th of this month, of developing multiple live-action TV series beyond Kenobi and Cassian Andor, and aside from that, this is actually where they are currently in negotiations of developing both a Mace Windu TV series as well as a Yoda live-action TV series. It's explained that initially Disney had planned a Yoda live-action Star Wars film before it was cancelled due to Solo: A Star Wars Story's box office results. However, Disney and Lucasfilm are currently in a phase and discussions of picking up on that project and expanding it into an 8-episode TV series, and that they have met with Frank Oz already to reprise his role as Yoda, that would go over Yoda's origins, such as his master and species, and new secrets about the Force, covering his life before the events of the prequels. It's established that the series would hold some form of connection to Star Wars The Mandalorian in surprising ways that will take fans by surprise, and that they plan for this TV series to have many connections to The Mandalorian Season 2, specifically. The Yoda TV series would also go over new aspects of the Jedi Council before the prequels, and even hold tie-ins to the prequel trilogy as well. Apart from this, Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to create a brand new Star Wars universe, much like Marvel, which Disney also owns, and that they want to use Star Wars to attract more customers to their streaming service Disney Plus, where they will have a constant stream of live-action TV series before they move on to the new Star Wars trilogy in the 2020s. Now, this Star Wars universe that Disney is starting with The Mandalorian will connect with all of the other TV shows and even with the upcoming trilogy, where they want to make Star Wars like Marvel, where many of the stories and the characters interconnect in obvious ways. Disney and Lucasfilm are also using live-action TV series as their way to also tap into new Star Wars lore and to also introduce Star Wars Legends content that will be made canon under Disney. They are currently in discussions with 5 live-action TV series, apart from Kenobi, Mandalorian, and Cassian Andor, giving a total of 8 live-action TV series so far on Disney Plus in the works, and that they plan to expand continuously as long as fans enjoy the TV shows and the ratings are up. This is Disney's course correct by, of course, focusing on television during their film's hiatus and before they move on to new Star Wars trilogy movies. However, Disney wants to focus on TV at the same exact time of when they move on to the new trilogy as well. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the thing about Episode 9 here is that this movie will determine exactly where live action will stand when it comes to the TV shows on Disney Plus and how fans will react to it all. Now, I think that Disney Plus is a good direction to go for TV shows that focus on characters that need a lot of development. A great example of this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think that at the end of the day, it may have been a good move to switch over from it being a movie to a TV show because, let's face it, now we are going to get 6 hours worth of material of Obi-Wan Kenobi as opposed to what would have originally been around 2 hours and change, right? So that's a big jump. We're going to get a lot of content related to Ewan McGregor's take on the bridge between, Obi-Wan that we know and love in the prequels to Obi-Wan that we know and love as well by Sir Alec Guinness in A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So, the fact that they are in discussions and are in negotiations with developing a Mace Windu TV series and a Yoda live-action TV series is huge. The fact that they are going to have a lot of connections to Star Wars The Mandalorian for this Yoda live-action TV series could very well have something to do with that big spoiler at the very end of The Mandalorian Episode 1. And in case you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, there is a big moment at the very end of Episode 1 that has to do with Yoda, and that actually has to do with Yoda's species. I won't go into anything further than that in case you guys have not seen Episode 1, and I could see as to why Yoda's live-action TV series would hold connections to Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2. So, with that being said, the fact that they're also using the Yoda live-action TV series as a way to pick up from their initial plan for there to be a Yoda spin-off movie that was actually canceled due to the Solo Star Wars Story box office results. Let's get into that in just a couple of seconds. Now, the Solo Star Wars Story box office results, due to The Last Jedi backlash and how poorly it did at the box office, that actually had a ripple effect. It actually canceled over 10 years worth of Solo movies by Disney and Lucasfilm, one of which was actually said to be a Yoda live-action TV series. They even planned to have a Solo A Star Wars Story sequel, and even the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie before it switched over to TV. And of course, beyond that, a lot of other movies as well. So Yoda was already in the pipeline before it was ultimately canceled, and now you can see that they are picking up on those ideas and transferring it over to television, which honestly I think that this is yet another good example. I think that this is a good move by Disney, the fact that they are aiming for 8 episodes of a Yoda live-action TV series some point in time before they begin the new Star Wars trilogy. Now, they already got The Mandalorian Season 2 launching, and eventually Disney and Lucasfilm, they have a plan in place where they eventually want to have 2 live-action TV series a year. So essentially they want to have a plan in place where they're going to have at least 2 live-action TV series in 2020, 21, 22, you name it, right? So The Mandalorian Season 2, I believe filming is just about underway. They're getting into that. Kenobi TV series begins filming in July, which really isn't all that far away. That's under a year from now. And Cassian and Andor begins to film their TV show after Kenobi wraps, which would place the Cassian Andor TV series to launch most likely in the same exact year as Kenobi's, 2021, which would then connect to Disney's plan to release 2 live-action TV series a year to speed up the process of Disney Plus and Star Wars before they move on to the new mythology, right? The new Star Wars trilogy, and how they want to also still, stream new live-action TV series, even though that there will be a live-action, new Star Wars trilogy to come in the late 2020s, or should I say the early 2020s. But with that being said, what do I think about a Yoda live-action TV series? I actually expressed my feelings about this when we went over the talks about the movie a couple of years ago. I feel like that it's not really needed, essentially. I feel like that we don't really need to learn about Yoda's origins, but it may take away from the mystery. I expressed the same exact feelings here myself about how I felt toward the Boba Fett movie that was ultimately canceled. And the fact that they canceled the Boba Fett movie, honestly, I was happy. I didn't want to know too much about Boba Fett's past, or I didn't really want a movie on Boba Fett at all, to be honest with you guys. I feel that it just wasn't all that interesting, just my point of view. If anything, they really could have just made The Mandalorian a Boba Fett TV series, if they really wanted to do that. But that was the evolution of that series, it was basically that Mandalorian was based off of the Boba Fett Star Wars movie. So with that being said, the fact that they really are trying to expand and everything and all really is inspiring, that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to really, you know, kind of pick up on Star Wars Legends and introducing new Star Wars lore and really using TV for Star Wars to really cater it to new Star Wars fans as well. So anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.